This is the battle of sex as an animal act, fucked up by your emotions. The human animal struggles vainly to control his natural animal instincts, so to be better able to fit into the norm of society, a contradiction in terms. Sometimes, however, either due to chemical or hormonal imbalance, a fist of facts, or a flagrant disregard for the outdated and inhibitional so-called code of ethics, the thin line which separates the animal from the vegetable is obliterated, leaving them free to intoxicate their need to fulfill the lowest common denominator. With the mating of brute ignorance and a sheer force of will, they are willing to meet and greet any danger, no matter how devastating the consequences, in order to fuel the necessary agitation which feeds their entire existence. Without this stimulating intoxicant, the banality of their boring and miserable lives becomes too chronic and depressing a constant to bear. Only through the threat of constant danger or the imprisonment of incomprehensible pain can they find a suitable distraction to veer them away from the dull reality which they seek so desperately to escape. The reality that they will never, ever be another Charles Manson, Jim Morrison, Jim Jones, Jack the Ripper, Tex Ritter, Clint Eastwood, Mario Andretti, Muhammad Ali, Lenny Bruce, Lizzie Borden, Andy Warhol, or Albert Einstein. The fact that they're going to be struggling every other day of their lousy goddamn lives just to be able to afford the cost of living yet another hopeless, rotten existence full of heartaches, bum deals, bad trips, burnouts, rip-offs, fuck-ups, and every other stinking lousy abuse you want to fling in the face of these poor, miserable, misfit, reject, loser outlaws. Yeah. Outlaws, the kind of people that don't fit in to your society, because to fit in would be the kiss of death. Dull, dumb, square. So instead, they pretend they're neo-Nazis with nightstick dicks, no brains, but banging into yours in the middle of the goddamn night, looking for whatever you're doing that don't fit right in with their ideologically unsound concept of reality, and how they want to alter yours by offering you up as some kind of human sacrifice. All the while trying to see if you're pig-headed or chicken-hearted enough to beg for your life once they've got you hog-tied. And I'm all for animal liberation, yeah, and the right to be a pig, because that's what it's all about.
Hello, this is God. Repeat after me. Our Father, whose art's in heaven, hallowed be thy name, unless things change. Thy kingdom come and gone, thy will be undone, on earth as it isn't heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, at least 3 times a day, and lead us not into temptation, too often on weekdays, but deliver us from evil, whose presence remains unexplained in thy kingdom of power and glory. Oh, man.
And as I told you on this chord once before, perfection is in all things. When you see yourself coming along now to just where I am, satisfied within my soul, I'm just a dreamer man. I'm just a dreamer man, dreaming my life away at home. I'm just a dreamer man, dreaming that I'm all alone. But if you want to be in my dream, you got to be true. Even if it's only to yourself all alone. Only yourself, you got to be true to your own now. You got to be what you are to be free. You're moving all around now. I see you moving all around now. I see you moving up and down now. I love you like a father, not a clown now. I see all your goods and bads, and your happies and your sads, and your sorrows and your tomorrow's illusions. I see the sadness and the madness and the pain and the death and all the confusion. Know what to do. Why must I carry you along? You're gonna do what you do because that's what you do. You're gonna love who you love because that's what you do. You love us and you love us and you love one too. And then you love each other and you love each other and you love each other and you love each other now. I ain't got time to be playing with you. Ain't got time to be playing blackout. Feel so low down that I could die.
That horse is holding his head up high. And the blood that's flowing so freely around his swinging testicles is staying out of his bucket-like nostrils. So he can breathe and get me through the valley. The valley that's the valley of decision. Where you beat those plowshares into axes and drive those spades and shovels into knives. Pound those tin cans into bullets. 'Cause when Jesus said, suffer the children, he didn't mean that way! And you done fucked up royally this time. You fucked up royally this time. It's over for you. It's finished, my beautiful Romeos. My children, it's finished. It's finished. You yank that horse's head around and you drive your way up to the periphery of the battlefield that is Megiddo. Crazy man standing there with a rocket in his hand, looking out over the sunshine, the starshine, and the moon set. Things will be a little bit different this time. This time around in these parts, things will be way different. So cash your checks, punch your tickets, redeem your coupons.
What few we can from that damnable voice of the dragon.
Time for partying is done.
We interrupt this program with a special bulletin. America is now under martial law. All constitutional rights have been suspended. Stay in your homes. Do not attempt to contact loved ones, insurance agents, or attorneys. Shut up. Do not attempt to think or depression may occur. Stay in your homes. Curfew is at 7 p.m. sharp after work. Anyone caught outside the gates of their subdivisions after curfew will be shot. Remain calm. Do not panic. Your neighborhood watch officer will be by to collect urine samples in the morning. Anyone caught interfering with the collection of specimen files will be shot. Houses will be inspected for trace elements at noon. Anyone who fails to display the prescribed embossed black velvet Mexican painting of Alexander Haig on their living room wall will be shot. Surveillance equipment will be posted on all lamp posts and streetlights. Anyone who fails to attend worship services on Sundays will be promptly arrested and dispatched to the nearest re-education resort. Stay in your homes. Remain calm. The number one enemy of progress is questions. National security is more important than individual will. Sports broadcasts will proceed as usual. No more than 2 people may gather anywhere at one time without permission. Use only the drugs prescribed by your boss or supervisor. Shut up! Be happy. Obey all orders without question. Shut up. The comfort you've demanded is now mandatory. Relax. Be happy. Relax. Be happy. At last, everything is done for you. Done for you. Done for you. why I'm glad the space shuttle blew up.
Why?
No! It wasn't the classroom full of school kids on TV, whimpering in horror, trying to stomach what they just seen on the screen. Each one of them still wearing one of those pointed birthday hats. No! Our first reaction in my house was each of us sitting around and daring each other to call up the San Francisco Examiner and say we were that legendary Libyan hit squad you've heard so much about, and we blew up the space shuttle. Late that night, we gave up the idea. Same old excuse. What if we get caught? Sometimes, though, it really does make sense just to chicken out. But now, I find out we were pretty damn lucky. If that shuttle had made it home, things might now be a hell of a lot worse. 'Cause NASA had this little plan for the following space shuttle they somehow forgot to tell us about. They had this plan to send the next shuttle into orbit, carrying 46 pounds of plutonium. If that one had blown up, there'd be enough radiation scattered in our atmosphere to cause cancer in as many as 5 billion people! How reckless can you get? How reckless can you get? Up, up, and away! Launch Star Wars the easy way! Just fire it up into the great beyond and don't tell anybody about it. After all, when people don't know what hurts them, they don't care. Just blame the fallout cancer epidemic on Gaddafi. Think of all the money people we know and love would make selling how to cope with cancer kits to BAM readers and yuppies. That's why I'm glad the space shuttle blew up, because the next one would have cooked all of us, too.
(1286) Warsaw Airport song. All over Europe, people are saying, who knows? All over Europe, people are saying, who knows? Asphodels fine, but next year what comes with the rose? Cabbage smells good, but depends which way the wind blows. All over Europe, people are saying, who knows? Wormwood skies will poison the sea, revelations. From Oslo to Athens, black clouds will transform the nations. Blackberries, mushrooms, and milk might bear mutations. All over Europe, people are saying, who knows, who knows? Woke up in Poland, maple leaves just wilted down. Not a cloud in the sky, inexplicably cold on the ground. Kids in the yard were playing without any clothes. All over Europe, people are saying, who knows? Phoned up the doctor, official reply, never mind. Same afternoon, suggested we take iodine. 3 days later, Chernobyl's error disclosed. All over Europe, people are saying, who knows? They slaughtered the reindeer in Lapland, Laps on the dole. Camembert radioactive in Zurich, the gold. Cotswolds of England, all the sheep markets were closed. All over Europe, people are saying, who knows? A liter of water's one X-ray in Washington state. So in milk bars of Minsk, what does it cost the milkshake? Big apples this year, we have to eat up what grows. If we didn't eat poison, we'd starve, brother, everyone knows. That was called All Over Europe, People Are Saying, Who Knows, 9/12/86 Warsaw Airport, Allen Ginsberg and Stephen Taylor, composers and words. As is, you are bearing a common truth, commonly known as desire. No need to dress it up as beauty. No need to distort what's not standard to be understandable. Pick your nose, eyes, ears, tongue, sex, and brain to show the populace. Take your chances on your accuracy. Listen to yourself, talk to yourself, and others will also, gladly relieved of the burden, their own thought and grief. What began as desire will end wiser.
Love one another, it has been said, is the supreme law. But what power made it so? Upon what rational authority does the gospel of love rest? Why should I not hate mine enemies and hunt them down like the most vicious of all beasts that they are? If I love them, does that not place me at their mercy? Is it natural for enemies to do good unto each other? And what is good? Can the torn and bloody victim love the blood-splashed jaws that rend him limb from limb? Are we not all predatory animals by instinct? If humans ceased wholly from preying upon each other, could they continue to exist? Is not lust and carnal desire a more truthful term to describe love when applied to the continuance of the race? Is not the love of the fawning scriptures simply a euphemism for sexual activity, or was the great teacher an emasculated milksop who glorified eunuchs? Love your enemies and do good to them that hate you and despitefully use you as the despicable philosophy of the spaniel that rolls upon its back when kicked. Hate your enemies with a whole heart, and if a man smite you on one cheek, smash him on the other. Smite him hip and thigh, for self-preservation is the highest law. He who turns the other cheek is a cowardly dog. Give blow for blow, scorn for scorn, doom for doom, with compound interest liberally added thereunto. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, yea, fourfold, 100-fold. Make yourself a terror to your adversary, and when he goeth his way, he will possess much additional wisdom to ruminate over. Thus shall you make yourself respected in all the walks of life, and your spirit, your immortal spirit, shall live, not in an intangible paradise, but in the brains and sinews of those whose respect you have gained.
This one train ride I want to tell you all about was from Cleveland, Ohio to New York, Grand Central Station. I got the train at 2 a.m. and 11 hours later I arrived in New York. So anyways, I'm on the train and behind me is a black family. Black woman, husband, and 3 kids, all crammed into 2 seats. And, they're miserable. They hate each other's guts, man. Imagine like these 3 wild-ass kids, they come all the way from Texas. You hear them talking. They've been on the train like a day and a half or 2.5 days, something like that. The kids are just going nuts, man. What would you do if you're like 5 years old in a train? It's like being in jail. You're like, So there's an infant who doesn't make any noise. There's a little girl, and there's this really wonderful, wise-ass boy, about 5 years old. The kid's a fucking genius, man. And so I'm riding the train, and Mom and Dad are just arguing back and forth, you motherfucker. And every single time, the little kid, the boy, he's just cracking. He's just like, Mom, look, that's a chair. Shut the fuck up. And the kid's coming up with these great one-liners. He wants to sing. He's coming up to me and like grabbing my tattoos. And, hey! I'm like, yes. What is it? Like rubbing my head, he's like patting me on my head and shit, and like taking my tattoos, and I like this guy. I'm going, you're hot, man. He's like, what is that? Ah! He's like laughing at me. The other guy's like, he's totally burning me, you know. Like, ah, you look like a fool. I'm like, oh, that's my job. I'm an artist. And so the kid is, me and the kid are talking, and then you see this arm come around the back seat. And it's mom. It's like the vaudeville cane, like, and the kid disappears, you know, and then you're just, it's like, the woman beats the fuck out of this kid, man. Like every 5 minutes, she's hitting this kid. The kid got hit more times in 1 hour than I got hit in, like, shit, 20 minutes, you know. No, I mean, but this mom is wailing on this kid, man. And you get the idea that these parents do not like these kids at all. The dad won't talk to them. The mom is changing the baby, stuffing the diapers underneath the seat. And so there's baby shit wafting up. The guy's trying to play a transistor radio at 4 a.m. And like people are going, excuse me, sir, could you turn that down? He's like, fuck. And everyone's like, oh, he's like, you. And the mom and dad are just like, they're mean, and the kids like 3 mistakes. You can tell the kids are like 3 big pains in the asses. And I'm sure most everybody in this room has felt like they were a total mistake of their parents, you know. Like you feel so out of place. You know, you feel like a wax statue. You know, your parents are talking, and you're like, hey, like, shut the fuck up, you little pain. You know. And here's this little boy, man, and he's so resilient, man. The mom whacks him, and he will not cry. He will not cry. I'm going, God damn, man, that kid's got more balls than anyone in this whole train, you know? So I get to sleep, and we wake up in the morning. This is what I want to get y'all to. We wake up, and he's like, ta-da! There's like an hour and a half out of New York, and he is just really sailing, man. He's singing Papa Don't Preach by Madonna. And what's the other one? The Sheena Easton one? I decided long ago. That horrible song. And he's going up and down the aisle singing. And he's so great, man. And like every time he goes by, you know, he's done a whole verse of Papa Don't Preach, all wrong. You know, and Papa Don't, he comes up and I go, let's sing it, man. He's like, Papa Don't Preach, yeah, you know, all out of key and shit. And then like mom. And like dad goes to take a piss. Mom starts telling the kid about what an asshole dad is. Your dad's a motherfucker, man. Your dad's a motherfucker. And like the kid's going like, yeah. I decided long ago. He's just like tuning his parents out, man. And he comes up and he stands up on the seat and he looks out the window and he goes, look, Mom, a volcano. And he goes, that's not a volcano, it's a mountain. Whack! You know, hits him again. It's like, ah! And he keeps on coming on with his songs and everything. So anyway, we're pulling into Grand Central Station, and I've never been to that train station before. I always go to the other one, Friendship or whatever it's called. Anyways, there's this really hard-ass district of New York. I don't know nothing about New York, but anyway, we're right 10 minutes out of the station, and there are these rows of buildings, like 90 stories high, windows this big, and there's tons, rows of them. I'm going, God, it looks, you know, buildings can sometimes look like really just evil. Like you see like insane asylums or hospitals or jails, and there's something about them that just says bad, you know, just stay away. I mean, and these houses were like that. And like, it was wintertime, cold as shit, there's tin foil in all the windows, sheets all crammed in to keep the cold out. And I'm going, God, what the fuck is this, you know? Is this a condo? And I'm noticing there's like 2 rows of these buildings, and there's like 1, 2, 3. There's 6 total, 2 rows of 3, and they're exactly the same. And I'm going, fuck, man, wow. And here's where the kid is a genius, man. The kid had the whole goddamn train. He looks out the window, and I'm not kidding you, he looks out the window, and he looks back at his mom and goes, which one of those are ours, Mom? Is we live in that one? Do we live in that one? Do we live in that one? Mom, you know, these projects all look the same. Which one do we live in? And I said, whoa, man, can you imagine a 5-year-old kid going home to that? Can you imagine the size of one of those rooms? One of those whole apartments that's supposed to fit a whole family? It's probably as big as this stage with 5 people. 3 kids who don't know what the fuck is going on. 2 parents who hate each other, themselves, and the kids. And the only confusion in the kid's mind is which jail cell he is to go to. You know? And that's a pretty hard fucking reality to deal with, because you know, some of you guys are probably kind of, you know, living pretty beat out, you know, you're probably living in some small places or anything, but I don't think anyone in this room has to go home to a place like that. And I never did, and it's the kind of district where most y'all would be walking through, and he lasts about 5 minutes. You know, some guy would just walk and go, wait a minute. Boom! And just take you over his shoulder, take you into his room, and just destroy you, or rob you, or burn you, or beat you, you know. And this kid's gonna grow up in that, you know. And you can tell he's a smart kid. You can tell in 5 minutes the kid was brilliant, you know. And I was thinking by age 10, he'll probably have all that smart, like, beat right out of him, you know. And I was thinking, what are the chances of that kid getting out of that neighborhood? What are the chances of getting out other than the back of an ambulance, the back of a police car, or like with a sheet over his face, you know? And that's if he gets out. And if he doesn't get out, maybe he'll just turn out to be a good drug dealer, you know, smart criminal. Or maybe he'll grow up to be big and strong, and he'll be one of those people who you go, ooh, and call nigger underneath your breath. Think about that. Ah, come on.